Now we are live. Please.
Good morning, friends.
Good morning, friends.
Yes,
I
madam.
am very much
Am very
honored
much
by this
honored by this
opportunity extended
opportunity
to me
extended to me
by the
Madam.
Anjuman
by
College
the
of
Anjuman
Engineering
College
and
of Engineering
Technology.
and Technology.
I am
Sir, should
extremely
Madam,
I?
please.
thankful
Extremely
to
thankful.
Yeah, madam, please. Please continue, madam.
Sir, I will take
Sir,
just a
I will take just a
few
few
uh,
uh,
to respect
to
our
respect our
dear students. I
students. I
Hey,
delighted to introduce you Arif Rizwy sir.
Arif
Arif Rizwy sir is
sir
as Deputy General
Deputy
Manager
General Manager
वेबिनार ज्वाइन किया क्या?
webinar join किया क्या?
Customization
ज्वाइन किया वेबिनार?
Mahindra
Webinar
Limited,
limited.
Automotive Sector,
Automotive
Mumbai.
sector, Mumbai.
A mechanical
A
engineer
mechanical engineer
university completed
completed
Mumbai.
a
Leadership, team member,
team member,
sales growth, and
growth
management
and
change
management
and
and
profit center
profit
in
in
competitive
competitive
customization
customization
application vehicles.
vehicles.
He has
He has
expertise in
expertise
customization business,
customization business,
personalize the mass
personalize the mass
automobile to create
automobile to create
differentiated market
market
advantages.
advantages.
He has
He
experience
has
in
experience in
management,
management,
sourcing,
sourcing,
and STM
and
operation,
operation,
team
team
development.
development.
Take the business to
The
top
business to top
in OE automotive with revenue and
revenue
business
and business
with top two ranks.
top two ranks.
He achieved a growth of 78% over tenure from original book and accessories business, 10% point growth in margins with multi-initiatives, accomplished largest deal in company's history, business, development in overseas market, overseas project. He received Business Communication of India 2010 Bronze Award in tabloid category for Top Gear newsletter. He got selected as strategy team member. He also received Accelerator Award 5 times for extraordinary performance. He received Gold Award from TNC Japan in Marketing Innovation Marathon. Now I welcome Arif Rizwy sir to continue with his speech of words. So thank you and please continue.
Thank you, Dr. Vaidya. I'm humbled by the detailed introduction given to these students. In fact, for me, it's a big opportunity to interact with the young minds, and I always see a huge value in interacting with the young minds because they are a big contributor to the future technology. And I take the privilege of talking to them with the relevance of mechanical engineering in now and tomorrow, and that is in future. So let me start by putting some few, stepping stones of my life together, and then talking to you with the exposure to the industry, which is about 30 years. I worked in India as well as abroad with companies like the leading automobile company in India, Mahindra and Mahindra, and then currently I'm also working with Mahindra and Mahindra, and I worked with Toyota in the overseas market in the Middle East. I had the opportunity of being selected for the international marketing marathon, which was in Japan, and then debuted to Thailand. So with small, kind of gathering of my experience, I've put together something that I would present it to you, and I hope that brings
किया?
value to your outlook.
अच्छा अपन YouTube मेरे ख्याल डाल देंगे.
And it's like mechanical engineering is the mother of engineering, I should say. And having said this, I would tell you that what are you getting qualified as? I mean, it's not just an engineering that is a qualification for the sake of employment. It is something which you need to drive learning your engineering in the most kind of engrossive manner. When I say engrossive manner, it should be relatable what you read in your books and what you are taught in the classes to the practical life. Because any profession, if it is done in isolation or if it is kind of acquired in isolation, has not much of impact in the kind of career path of an individual. And this is precisely is what my first learning that I would like to give you from my personal experience. And I am also very, very honored, and I always feel quite elated that I'm a mechanical engineer. It's matter of being very much to feel proud, and self belief is very high when I'm a mechanical engineer and when I talk to people with my technical as well as the relatable acquired knowledge. And why I'm pausing on such required levels is that there are a lot of self learning and development which is required to be brought into by each one of you to be successful in life and also lead a happy personal life, which actually becomes the foundation of your good, successful professional career. Having said this, I mean, this is something that is quite, very important, I should say, that mechanical engineering is a discipline, art, skill, and profession. Acquiring and applying is something that you need to do. I mean, it's not just, you read books, you pass your exams, and after that you get qualified in the flying colors, and then it's end of the story. No, it's the beginning of the journey, because what you have read in form of mechanical engineering, in form of your mathematical modeling, in form of your practical workshop trainings, is all related to something that has to be developed upon. It is just a foundation. It is just a starting stone, stepping stone. And all these things you need to do to make sure that it realize improvement or bring improvement in the lives of the human being. So engineering, I mean, a scientist will learn or rather study the nature, and an engineer would modify things to make things more executable or make life more comfortable. So an engineer has a very important role in the social and in the human lives. So keep that in mind, and you need to be very, very mindful in reducing the carbon footprint in future and reducing the pollutions, and kind of making the environment more clean. So we are looking at future technology in all the ways, not just in the simple manner, but also in the evolved manner and future readiness. We are in the fourth stage of engineering or industrial revolution. I mean, where cyber physical systems are going to be working. I'm talking to you with a kind of a horizon up to 2030, after which again there is going to be another wave of revolution which is going to be storming the industry. So in this cyber physical system, the question comes in the mind of many engineering students, and that too in of the field of classical engineering like electrical, mechanical, and civil engineering, that what is our scope of fitment in this environment? I will say that mechanical engineering had a glorious past and it has a very engaging future. I mean, I'm saying this not just because I'm a mechanical engineer, but I'm telling you all these things out of my experience and learning of 30 years in the industry. And whatever complexities of engineering will increase in the internet and things of services which are going to be cyber physical, mechanical engineering will always have a role to play. You will see how I will also be taking you through a small video at the end of this presentation, which is completely relevant, and it is stepping into the current levels as well as stepping into the future levels of development in the global level, wherein mechanical engineering has a huge relevance. If you look at this kind of a diagram out here, it says that the classical system of engineering has inherent place in the modern development cycle of a product or modern development of any system of engineering. And there are subsystems which work around it, but the core system remains as the mother of the technology, which is better explained if I take an example of an electric car. I mean, if I can be pardoned for being a little more automobile biased because I have lived in the automobile industry all through my life. So I'll take an example of an electric car. I mean, you see that in electric cars, I mean, currently there are a handful of 19 manufacturers across the world who are manufacturing automobiles. I'm saying the four-wheelers. and the passenger vehicles, not the trucks, but the four-wheelers, passenger segment, the SUVs, and the cars. At the time of 1947 or so, there were 54 brands. They have all consolidated, kind of, mergers happened, and they all became one because the cost of technology was very high. The cost of R&D was very high to investigate, to develop, to relate, and to bring in practical technology. The cost of development of a platform, as we call it in automobile parlance, developing a platform is very exorbitant. But with the electric cars coming into, you will see again a reversal of phenomena wherein 19 manufacturers right now may become 50 manufacturers in 2 years' time. You can mark your dates of 2 years later, and you can remember me after 2 years that there will be manufacturers which will be like coming into or mushrooming up, who will be manufacturing a lot of electric mobility. Electric mobility means one transport, which is like a Segway, a single person transportation, and electric mobility will also mean a complete bus, which will carry 50 people. On the R&D level right now, there are heavy earth movers are also developed with the electric drive, but they are still yet to see the light of the sun in the practical markets. So what I'm trying to tell you is that while the movement has happened that there's no engine going to be in the near future mobility, but there's going to be a requirement of mechanical engineer to drive systems like steerings, to make systems of four-wheel drive steerings. There will be a driverless car, so there will be a lot of sensors and there will be a lot of actuators. There will be a lot of systems which will govern the structural strength of the chassis or the body, monocoque body. So the mechanical engineer always has a place, but only thing is that he has to reorient himself to work with various other correlatable systems, and that makes inevitable for any mechanical engineer to remain away from the digital and internet technology. So you need to get into more and more with digital. You need to get more and more into how electronics can be interactive with mechanical engineering, which means proximity sensors, which means all sorts of closed loop systems. If I can control systems with closed loop technology. I mean, at the time when I was an engineering student, I remember it was in my syllabus of third year mechanical engineering BE, and we found it very tough. And I would remember very fondly one professor who taught us the basics of this, and that was Professor Joshi from BRC, who had taken extra classes of us, and we had the opportunity of studying under him and understanding the closed loop systems, which is still alive in my mind. I remember him, I remember his words, what were taught to us, and they're really, really highly value adding to my career when we get into designing systems. I have a kind of my hand into customization, as ma'am expressed at the time of my introduction. So there are many things which me and my designer teams, we work shoulder to shoulder very closely. And these things are, very basic, and that you need to relate in today's and the future technology also. So I'm saying that please do not, undermine the power of your technical learning, what you are getting in your classrooms and what you're getting through your books and through your professors in their lectures, because they will be like your foundation. And of course, after this, you have to build up on things. How? I mean, people say that mechanical engineers, are you looking at only the floor job? Are you looking at only the factory job? Or are you looking at only the R&D job where you will be behind the apron of a control panel? Or are you looking at allied jobs? I mean, I will be, I'll tell you that I haven't worked in production for long. I have an experience of about a year and a half working on the production line, on an assembly line. And rest of my life, I have been working in the marketing, sales, product development, designing, customization, service marketing, and also brand management. So these are the places. I mean, this, if you see the slide on your screen, there are certain green hexagons that I have placed, on it, which means that you need to look beyond the domain of mechanical engineering, wherein these places are very, very aligned to your education. It's not that a mechanical engineer is not required for product planning. He is required for CRM. He is required for software development. I mean, a driverless car software written by Google. I know somebody who's working in that team is a mechanical engineer from Bombay. Okay, then there is customer care. Obviously, I mean, any car or any product or any washing machine or any refrigerator is sold, there has to be a customer care department, and there are mechanical engineers heading and leading the teams. Sales. I mean, I remember an example of a shaving system called Gillette, and someone told me that an engineer who's the most successful Gillette salesperson. So I was quite wondering that what is his role in it. So I was given to understand that he has become most successful salesperson for Gillette shaving systems because he was the one who was able to describe the metallurgy of the blade and how it lasts because of the composition of steel that is used in it. And he was selling all this without having any knowledge about the cosmetic or any knowledge about the toiletries or any knowledge about the human what you call hygiene aids, but he has become the most successful person. So basically it's like how you use your knowledge to leverage yourself in the industry, and industry is very competitive. Industry looks at people who are not just qualified, they look at people how they use their qualification into their practical life. So be very very oriented to using your the learnings what you have acquired and what you are acquiring in currently your course of mechanical engineering. There are people who think, and there are leaders who have their outlook that are the mechanical engineers equipped to manage emerging technologies like artificial intelligence, machine language, 3D printing, and so on and so forth. So it is fortunate as well as unfortunate that 20% of them only believe in this, that yes, they are equipped, whereas 55% of them are quite not convinced. They are saying to know that today's mechanical engineer may not be able to cope up with AI and ML and various things beyond that. But let me tell you that this 55% people are absolutely wrong. This is a global survey. This is a global survey, and they are absolutely wrong. There, if you look at people who are not sure the light blue and the dark blue composition, okay, they are actually the people who are the believers in it. They are saying not sure only because of certain limitations or their presence at that point in time when the survey took place. But this 55% of them are actually the leaders who are lacking the insight into the young minds of the engineers. I'm saying this because I have been kind of lucky to be interacting with a lot of young team members. My team is very young. I mean, my average age of my team is about 30 years or 32 years, and I'm working with young minds. They are very agile. They are very relevant to the current situation. They have come with very new ideas. And I, as a leader, always believe that an idea is never a bad idea. An idea is always a brilliant idea. Always, all ideas are brilliant ideas. It is only in what perspective you receive that idea from a giver and how you try to improvise upon it with your capabilities and your learnings and how you can use that idea. But the origination of the idea, the credit lies in the domain of young engineers, young MBAs who are in the industry right now. So I will be very open to say that a huge lot of contribution is being made by the young generation, the millennium generation, which is you. And please keep this in mind that you're learning what you are doing in your classrooms and through your professors, what you are understanding your subjects. They are going to be a stepping stone for your career. So please take a lot of pride and a lot of passion in what you do, okay, and what you learn. The growth mantra, if I can, I mean, it's like a very big subject, and nobody in this world is being able to identify a recipe or a medication that if someone takes that will become successful in life. But the three things which will peak up your performance is your professional skills which you are acquiring right now, your personal empowerment skill, which means that you need to have respect for your belief, you need to believe in yourself, you need to have self care, you don't neglect yourself, you need to be having a self esteem in you, which please do not misunderstand this with arrogance, okay. Humility is always the best thing in life that makes you grow. But at the same time, you should not be undermining your capability. You should not be less on self-confidence. And let me tell you this, that a guy from Anjuman Engineering College is no way less than any RECs or national engineering colleges, as we call it in the the new parlance. Even I had the opportunity of interacting with IITians as I'm talking to you today. I have been working and kind of in a discussion with them on electric mobility with IIT Bombay team. Let me tell you this, that the passion, the pride, or the ideas or the innovation doesn't come with the college label. It comes from the individual, and industry respects that. Industry is no more looking at labels from the college. They are looking at what kind of a answer or reasoning or your go-getter aptitude and attitude is there in the candidate when they select the person. That does not mean jugaad is the right way, but that means innovation is the right way. That means applying your engineering, applying your learning into your approach or into your solution is always the mantra. That is why I showed you that slide, that please relate what you are learning with practical life around you. The most important thing after your formal education that is happening in your colleges is to have a personal development plan. And as I call it as PDP, personal development plan is very important. And that is like, have the self awareness, what you are, you know, kind of what are your strengths, develop upon your strengths and improve upon your opportunity areas. There is nobody who has weaknesses. They have opportunity areas for development. So work upon those areas of opportunities which are your development areas. Identify them, put your talent set, sharpen them up, bring your potential up. There is nobody who is, kind of provided with 6 or 7 eyes to look around 360 degrees. It is only your vision of 2 eyes that brings your potential into you. Human capital is the most important asset to an industry. In the earlier times, it used to be like, somebody's nephew, somebody's niece, or somebody's cousin, making an inway into industry. But now it's totally and totally a very transparent selective selection processes that goes through. And your capability, your alertness, your response, your aptitude, and your aspiration is what is looked at. Industry will look at a person who is having high aspiration. They will not look at a person who will stay with them for 50 years and kind of become a dead wood for them. They are looking at people who are required to be retained by them. They are so live wires. So be high aspiration, have big dreams. There are people who will say some old school thoughts will be that don't dream too high, or you'll have disappointment. No, please dream high, but make a way, make an action plan. Most important and the critical thing which gets missed out by all young minds and all young students is making an action plan and following it with discipline. I'm just putting there are 6 quadrants to this circle, and one is as you read it here, it's written as business strategy, and another is written as people strategy. But I'm going to put this in a different manner to you, and I'm calling it as a vision, viability, and direction, which you have to do in yourself, within yourself, which is the orange part of that. And the green and the blue part of that is the visibility, engagement, and differentiated. How do you differentiate yourself? So the first 3 things will be like your vision, as in the previous slide you have seen, your aspirations, your dreams, how you put your action plan in place, which is set operational plans. And then please have your strong visibility. I mean, if I can be quoting a Hindi saying which says, "Jo dikta hai, wo bikta hai." So you have to be marketing yourself, and for marketing yourself, you need to be visible. You need to be engaging with others. Others could be people in the field of your own engineering, from management, from industry, from culture, from people who can invite you for a lecture or a small talk. So from academics. So you have to engage with them. And we are today in the time that digitally we can engage with people sitting across the Pacifics, and they are Atlantic with ease, with a touch of a button on the mouse. So my request to you all is that while you are a student, you should have a profile, you should have a digital profile. So get onto LinkedIn, put in your projects, what you do, put in your, kind of some research or some sort of work that you have put into, which is more than your course, which is little ahead of your syllabus or out of your syllabus, what you have done. You can also put in your work, like, if you suppose someone is good at cooking, put your hobby. Sometime you put your hobby, what you have cooked into, in your kitchen, put that up, because that is something that makes your creativity come up. If you are a good painter, if you're a good artist, put that also up in your digital profile, because that gives an insight to the industry that this boy or this girl has a lot of creativity in him. So creativity is a mantra for marketing. It's a mantra for brand management. It's mantra for product planning. Okay, creativity. So you need to be creative. You just cannot be mechanical. I mean, by your approach. So as a leader, I mean, when I call a leader, I mean, I'm seeing you guys as a future leader. So you need to develop your outlook. You need to have a very positive outlook. And success driver, let me tell you, personal development is a very big success driver. While your technical education is going to take you up to the interview level, and after that, your basics of engineering will definitely be applied at every step of your profession. But to make you acceptable and to make you to be called in the conference room to ask about your views, it will be your outlook, your positive outlook, that will drive you in those core areas where your engineering will be used or where your success stories will be written. So to have a kind of a good successful career, you need to have a very positive outlook. And the positive outlook is that today is good and tomorrow is even better. With that outlook, you should be working in life. And here I would come to the last arrow, which is the green color arrow here, adaptability. And can anyone say what is the last word? Risk taking is something that will drive you with the speed. It will give you the speed in your career. So adaptability and risk taking at an early age, with the career shift, with the company shift, with the domain shift. I mean, a mechanical engineer can get 2 years working on the shop floor, and if he thinks that his heart lies in marketing, he should immediately change the domain. Don't stick with something that you are not passionate with. Your passion is very, very important when you work. So, with all this, I'm one of you. Basically, I'm an Nagpurian. I had my education from SFS school. I did my 10th. After that, I studied in Government Polytechnic Nagpur in the mechanical engineering. Then I did my engineering from YCC Nagpur. And post that, I did my marketing management from Bombay while I was working. And I haven't changed many of companies. I started my career with a local company, which is Nagpur Gas and Domestic Appliances, as a research team member. Way back, which was a small time that I got during the, between the admission to BE after doing my diploma. So I did a market survey, and this was my stepping stone in industry, and this was my stepping stone for marketing research. This was my stepping stone for customer care. This was my stepping stone for sales. So it was a big learning, even though it was a small assignment. It was an assignment for Honda generators, portable generators, that I did with them. And I mean, the beginning can always be humble. It has to be small, and you have to make your way forward. It's not that people always land with, Rolls Royce when they get into a career. They make their way to Rolls Royce. It's not that they step into, a giant like LG. They have to make their way to LG. It's not, whatever you name it. So it's a humble start that you need to look at, but you need to make sure that your speed and your growth is always in the right direction. So these are some few things. I mean, what I have is like my self belief, and I think my screen is clear, so you can read it out. And currently, these are the areas where I have worked into, which are put in black fonts. And currently, I'm taking care of as head of profit center. So I am putting my things with the idea that you have, it's a storytelling kind of. You have a son of a soil like you from Nagpur, and I don't call myself as something who is like to be reckoned as a um, you know an ideal, but whatever small things that I have achieved in life in my career, I'm putting that across to you that this is my learning in my life. So I'm sharing that across with you that what has helped me in life to reach to whatever small success that I have received in life or achieved in life, I should say achieved in life. And I'm sharing this with you so that you can also, kind of look at them. I'm not saying blindly follow them, but look at them, and they may add value to your success stories. This is what I feel is my goal, and I'm working towards it. This is very important that you need to prove yourself at every time that you are stepping into. Every day you have to earn your bread. I don't say that you have, I mean, a government job, a permanent job. There's nothing permanent these days. Even if you're working in the corporate, I mean, you have to be a value-adding, contributing person every day, at every hour, at every minute. Otherwise, I mean, there's no free lunch. And that is a story for continuity of your growth. So this is my objective, and if I can just put things, taking you through some visual slides, which will be interesting for you, then just be talking to you guys, because this will give you the snippets at what the industry is going towards and how people like me and you can make a difference in the industry. So this is all about me. You need to have a unique perspective and vision. Don't get carried away by whatever everyone is saying. You need to have your views. You need to have your views very well articulated, very well foundationed in what you say. It's not that कि नहीं यार मेरे को तो ये ठीक लगता है, but क्यों ठीक लगता है, you should have a logic behind it, and that logic and reasoning comes from your learning, and then later on it comes with your experience. Be passionate. I mean, just don't do things for the sake of doing. When you do things with passion, the results are totally different, and those results are exponentially different. They are not just kind of it is a multiple growth. It's exponentially higher, better results when you do things with passion. Have very honest opinion. Don't have biased opinion. If a doctor diagnoses a patient knowing that he's my neighbor, is a good friend of mine, and saying, no, you don't have anything here, you just have a mild fever, don't need to take care, you just have this tablet and it's fine, and take him away from not having a COVID test because he may feel bad if I tell him you are a suspect of a COVID, then you are actually not having an honest opinion. I'm giving you a very, very silly example, but that is only to make you say that how important an honest opinion is. You need to be an effective communicator and an equally effective listener. If you don't listen, you will stop learning. And this is what I strongly believe in. As a leader, I listen to my team. I hear my team out with commas and apostrophes. What you stop learning. And I've been able to get some global exposure, which I'm putting in my work. And innovator is something that is the mantra of success for industry. And you need to be an innovator, always bring new ideas. Initiative taker, many good ideas crop in the mind, but they do not get implemented. So an initiative taker is something who is like a person who is able to put his ideas in place, and run them through. Of course, an accomplished experience comes when you are customer focused and make things happen. There is, no point in being empathizing with the customer and not bringing things to make him feel happy. Okay. So this is something that you need to be focused, people focused, and this is going to be an important thing for you to have your startups also. If you think in future that you want to be an entrepreneur, you need to be customer focused and design your things, design your product, design your services around it. Have highest form of empathy with the customer or his kind of experience, and then bring your product and bring your services around it to be successful, and product being successful in the market. Of course, I am in the auto industry, not just because it is my source of livelihood, it is also my passion. And I live kind of a life which is very close to automobile. That's my passion. Of course, you need to have a wealth of patience. Nothing comes overnight. And do not feel hesitant of repeating your things which you have not done well, or if you have failed in a particular step of yours, please repeat it, and till the time you are successful and you master it. So what do I do? I excel in, kind of. So it's like a core specialties or core competencies. You see it on the screen, which is there by the side of my, on my laptop by the side of my mouse. You can see the mouse of the mouse that I use is also of a car shape. So it's like a passion and not a passion, and which I live day in and day out. So what? This is the business process reengineering that is given the significant profit share in the business of my department. So if a company is earning 100 as a profit, the percentage has grown from 10 to 20 and 25 that way. It is what I'm trying to say, that by doing the business process reengineering, there was a significant profit share that got contributed from the departments that I'm taking care of. Growth in accessories, significant growth in the profits, and some largest deal in the history of the company that I'm honored with, or I'm blessed by the Almighty to have been, putting my efforts into it and my team effort into it, and then the same are being blessed by the Almighty that still nobody has been able to get this deal of 22,000 vehicles in single order. And this was from Hyderabad Municipal Corporation, where we offered them a solution in garbage handling on a small platform of a single cylinder engine. Of course, there is multifold growth in the export of our product to various markets where we are present. I had the honor of working with the team, which is on a very matured market. We have a presence in US where we have Roxer as Mahindra Roxer as a product is sold there. So a lot of development inputs were taken from me. Of course, as a profit center, creating aspiration within my team, customization is a developing business in India. There are a lot of governances that has been put in by the government in terms of what you can do in customization and what you cannot do in customization. But within this also, there are customer requirements which are even on top of the most highest variant that any company is selling today, whether that is an automobile or whether that is an apparel or whether that is accessory like a briefcase and things like this. There are customizations happening in that. And today's industry do not want to source things as one-off. If you look at a recent example of urban clap, it's not there in Nagpur, but it is there in a couple of other cities in the country. Urban clap offers you a solution which is like a barber haircut at home, to your plumbing solutions, to your electrical problems, to your shifting of residence, to whatever. I mean, you just think of it, and they have a solution. So that if you go and get a plumber, he is going to charge you maybe 200 rupees. But if you take an urban clap, they will charge you probably 275 rupees or 300 rupees. But you still have the convenience of calling them over phone. Somebody who is neat, clean, certified kind of thing will come to your house, do your plumbing job, and go away. So delivering solution is the future. And here again, I mean, you cannot see things in isolation of a mechanical engineer. There are a lot of mechanical engineers and his inputs required in all these things in service industry. So service industry is a huge industry, and there are a lot of mechanical engineers which would be required in the service industry. Driving innovation and leading the industry is the mantra. You just cannot be doing conventional thing. You just cannot be doing something which is there on the beaten track. You need to beat the track. You need to break out of the beaten track, do something innovative, and get onto it. So if I say that the latest, I mean, in the smallest kind of change, which is an innovation. I mean, you look at auto shift gears which are there in the car, which was introduced in India in Maruti Celerio, Suzuki Celerio. I mean, there are a lot of people who feel that at what speed they need to change gear is a art that you learn over driving, years of driving. So the car itself has taken care of it now. So it's an auto shift. The same mechanical gearbox has a shifter, which is an auto shift, which senses the speed of your flywheel and the speed of your car, and it synchronizes that with a shifter, which is nothing but asymmetrically, you can say, a solenoid action, which shifts the gear by pressing the clutch and then shifting the gear. So it is just nothing but innovation. customer focused business development. I mean, you need to be having new ideas based on what are the customer's requirement. You need to make the customer loyal. So I will again tell you a small story that while I was working with Toyota, I was working on the program for which was called as Customers for Life, which means that if he's taking an entry level car today, what is his LTV, lifetime value? So in Toyota, the lifetime value of a customer was calculated in a way that he's taking an entry level car today. He would pay for the services, he would pay for the accessories, he would pay for the spare parts. Of course, he has paid down payment there for the car. So his lifetime value when he buys 5 car in his lifespan, as it was in the Middle East, Toyota was calibrating it for the 5 times the person would change car in his lifetime. They wanted that always the customer should buy a Toyota, and that is the reason when the car was given for service, and if the service time was more than 2 days, the customers were offered a loaner car, and the strategy was that we were offering a loaner car which was one above the current model what he was owning. So if I may name the product, if he was driving a Toyota Altis or a Corolla, what you call it, he was given a Toyota Camry as the loaner car, the one above car. So this was the strategy. So you need to be looking at that. How do you keep yourself? I mean, keep your the customers with you by luring him always at every step. So this was my scoop with them on customer retention for life, and which included a lot of things in service marketing. It included a lot of things, the brand positioning and brand marketing also. This is where I have worked. So as I told you, I started as an intern in kind of a market and customer research for Shriram Honda generator, and these are some snapshot pictures of that time when the engineers from Honda were explaining things on kind of service campaigns and things like this. I worked with Mahindra and Mahindra in their regional offices in sales. I was in car sales, vehicle sales from 1990 to December 2000, and December 2000. Then I moved to Middle East, where Toyota had a tie-up with a distributor called Saud Bhavan, and because in Toyota or any other company in Middle East, the rule of the land is that you cannot alone exist in the area. You need to have a partnership. So they had a business partners with Saud Bhavan and Group, and that is where I was working. This was my office there in Middle East. This is my current office in Bombay, where we work, which is Mahindra and Mahindra. And just to tell you guys, I mean, I'm not trying to flaunt and I'm not trying to show you that how it is, but a small beginning with NGDA, and this is in India, abroad, and in India again. This is my career path. I have been able to plot it up. So it's not that every year that I have been growing. There are plateaus. So you need to have patience. There are many limitations of the industry also in the speed at which you grow. But you need to be one of those who need to be selected. Even if there are 2 guys who are to be promoted, you should be one of them, and that can only come with your knowledge, which is basic and there always, and your outlook, your people management, your aptitude, your positive outlook, and your, of course, knowledge is there, without which you cannot survive. So basically, these are my qualification. I put in my pictures of some of my the institutes where I have studied, and then I have done the marketing management. You need to have a strong professional profile. So a LinkedIn is always a very referred thing by industry when they want to select any candidate. Their LinkedIn profile is something that is the first thing that people see. Their Facebook is seen, their Instagram is seen. So be very positive what you put on your digital things. I mean, refrain from putting things which are politically aligned, refrain things which are from ethics or religion aligned, refrain from putting things which are kind of very, uh, unhumanly, okay, brutal, and put positive things which you should be actually developing in your mind, and only your mind that gets reflected on the digital media. So you should have a very positive mindset basically, and that reflects in your profile. So if I just say, I think I'm close to about 11 or 12,000 people with whom I'm connected on the LinkedIn, and they are from various industries, from various spheres. They are also from culture. They're also from Bollywood. They're also from industry. They're also from education. So it's good to have people connected, and they keep giving you a lot of value input to you to improve also. So a few, I don't have many, very few, uh, some sort of achievements. This is an innovation. That is why I'm trying to put a little emphasis on it, which is a marketing innovation marathon, which Toyota conducts for the global level. And somehow I was honored with the gold award in this as a marketing strategy that was presented in Thailand, and that got selected as a global strategy for Toyota. So, which was in the year 2004, long back. So, this was the award. Of course, you will receive many of them. Don't feel that this is something that is a very high achievement. This is just to tell you that I am one of you. I am from Nagpur, and don't feel limited that you have guys rubbing shoulders with you from Delhi and from Chandigarh and from Chennai and Bangalore and Bombay. You are no less than any one of them. Your education is something that is. I mean, I would say that Nagpur University and that for that matter is very very reputed in terms of its quality of education. Training seminars, please try to attend as many digital seminars as you can. There are a lot of things which are available for students. There few of them comes with a fees, so look at them. Don't negate them. And this is my PDP, my own PDP. So you need to identify what all are your strengths. You need to make plan how do you sharpen them. You need to make your personal life more kind of peaceful. I don't think comfort comes from air conditioners and carpets and sofas. Comfort comes from peace of mind and clarity of thoughts. So do not overburden your mind with things which are not related to positive things. Make your life very positive, very very engaging. You should have a quality of life with your parents, with your siblings, with your wife in future, and with your children in future. Give time to them. And of course, innovation led business is something that you require to inbuilt into you, because as an entrepreneur, as a manager, in both those places you require innovation. And if you do your own business, every day you need to innovate. You need to think in a different manner to get the customers to you back again. These are few things that I have wanted to show to you that will probably make you some give you some excitement in the presentation. Otherwise it will be a dead talk. These are customized editions, the special editions, which are not produced in the factory but are produced by the customization department, by the accessorization department of the company, to offer something which is superlative than the product that is made in the factory, to enhance them further. So there is a customization which is like you may have heard people doing their modification, and this is how we do it. It's like we talk to the customers, understand their requirement. The team gets back to the designing. So you see the lower strip of things, how they are designing, bringing the customer's requirement in place, and how then the vehicles are transformed, how the prototypes are made, how they are transformed, how the engineering is done so that they don't fall apart. And we give full warranty to it. So there's a cost of giving such commitment. So we need to be mindful in what we give to the customers. There is a legal angle to it, what can be offered and what cannot be offered within the motor vehicle rules. So they are highly respected and they are followed. A few things that are being created. You may have seen a Thar, a Mahindra Thar, but this is a Wanderlust customized on Thar. This is a Thar which has a Tesla kind of doors at the back, which opens like a gullwing door. If you can notice in the bottom right picture, this is the interior. I mean, of course, you know that the Thar has a basic interiors, but this is the kind of interiors that the customers would like to have. This is the KUV Extreme. There's a neon light on the dashboard. People can notice in the lower picture the color coding. And this is one of the most successful customized variant of Thar in the history of country, where the highest variants of this customized options have got sold in the country. And without naming anybody, there are who's and who's from the industry, from the Bollywood, from the business class people who have opted for this. And this is sharing the same garage or the parking space with cars like BMW, Grand Marquis, And even Aston Martin, one of the customers in Gujarat has an Aston Martin, and he has also this with him. So it's like what you do with passion always has a place in the highest level of acceptance for the customer. And if they are winning the hearts of the customer, that means you are successful in business. This is a Bolero customized into a Stinger, a Scorpio, TUE, KUE 100. This is Xylo and Verito. They look different. We do a lot of enhancement on the adventure because that is where the product has a capability. So as I was telling you that you need to have your strong points also sharpened further. Same thing we have done with our product also. The vehicle is very, very capable. It is an off-roading vehicle. So we have further enhanced its capability by making it more adventure equipped. And as I said, that these are there are some people from Bollywood. So you can see a few of them climbing on their cars and sharing their pictures of off-roading. This is the action, the testing, how we test our product. This is our team testing the product. It's not that the customers are doing this. This is our team testing the product. So a lot of validation that happens. The best of the engineering minds have to work together to ensure that this kind of use or abuse the product can sustain. There's a lot of value-added products that we are into, as I showed you the slide, which is for the garbage management. This is a solution which offers you a mobile kitchen, and here you see a truck standing, which is an automatic road groomer. Next to that is an ambulance, which is a cost-effective ambulance. Then you have something which is bottle carrier. Then you have a shop on wheels. So these are solutions. This is a hotel on wheels, a restaurant on wheels, the first vehicle that you see. The one in the middle is a refrigerated van. And the innovation, it's a single cylinder. And all of you guys know that a single cylinder engine cannot run a refrigeration, and that to minus 20 degrees and minus 14 degrees, how it can bring in that temperature. The engine do not have that capacity. So in this vehicle, we have made a hybrid refrigeration system. Something interesting, something close to you guys, what you are reading right now, in your refrigeration and thermodynamics and all these things, that this vehicle has an eutectic, which is a chemical, kind of gel, which is filled into it, which is frozen by using an electric kind of source at the night. And during the day, it keeps dissipating out that cold or lower temperature in the whole vehicle, so that till the evening it remains cool. So this is kind of a hybrid thing. In the night it gets charged, and the daytime it remains cool the entire day. So that is how you don't need to burden the engine for running the refrigeration. So this is quite an innovation in the industry, which we have been successfully able to implement and sell the products as a total solution. So all this is an engineering mind that you need to work on with. You see ambulance on the right side. This is the ambulance that me and my team we worked on with AIMS, All India Institute of Medical Sciences, and the registrar and Dr. Sodi, Angel Singh Sodi. He was the one with whom we spent hours together at Delhi in the hospital. And after doing a lot of talk with the nurses, after doing a lot of talk with the ward boys, doctors, and the patients and their relatives, we have done the market research and developed this ambulance, which is a ICCU ambulance. Here, a thorax operation, as they call it in the medical terms, can also be provided within the transit of a patient, which means it's a life-saving kind of a process that can be performed within this ambulance. So going fast, because I'm running out of time, there are a lot of coverage that my work has received in the media, and of course, there are a lot of Top Gears and other magazines which have put in our kind of work into it. A lot of customer-centric programs, off-roading, all that I have got done with the brand building initiatives that we took. Product placement in the events, all these things I have passed through. I've done service marketing with Toyota, and this is what is customer lifetime value, as I told you, and this is various marketing campaigns that were made by me. So just professional artifacts I've put together in place, and this may help you take. I mean, like innovation and hobbies and all these things will actually craft your culture. My hobbies are customizing or modifying, and this is my own bike, yellow color bike, which was an in Suzuki of the olden time that I had customized. I have a hand into painting. I do some gardening, and I was an avid aero modeler, doing aeroplanes, flying aeroplanes models. So my friends around here in Nagpur and some good mentors, like also in Nagpur and other places, helped us, and that is where there is no formal learning, but this is self-acquired skill. I was running my blog. I had to pull it down because there was the free blog sites and all that were not available. So I have put it down right now, but I'll restart again. I also do painting, which is with oil and watercolors. As I told you, these are the flying models that I still do sometime when I find time in Bombay. And this was my blog, which was Automate, which is a combination of automobile and marketing. So I've named it as Automate, which is not right now in the air. And then, of course, gardening, cooking, and interior decoration is something that I look at doing as my hobby. This is like riding, modification, and off-road adventure. Guys, I'll give you a small quiz. In this picture, can you identify someone who is very close to you and he's still there in Anjuman Engineering College as a faculty? If you see the bottom row of pictures, there are two guys standing by a side of a bike. One in bluish green, that is me, and one in white is Professor Ravindra Paliwal. And I would part away with you after this. If Professor Josefa permits me, I'll show you that video, which is on the relevance of mechanical engineering in future. Otherwise, I will open this small session for you to ask any questions if you have.
Sir,
Over to you. Over to you.
Sir, our participants have few questions. They are asking
Sure.
few questions.
Over to you. Over to you.
Sir, our participants have few questions. They are asking few questions.
Over to you. Please go ahead. Please go ahead, sir.
Sir, our participants have few questions. They are asking So this is one of the questions. Yes, sir. This is a question, sir, by a participant.
I'm going through them, and of course, Shahbaz Ahmed is asking that what after B, MBA or MTech? If you want to get into industry and marketing, MTech. If you want to get into MBA. If you want to get into academics and do R&D, MTech. What are the vocational trainings? Huge lot of things are available on the net. Please search, and you will be able to get appropriate things to answer your requirements, basically. Then there are people asking.
So I have put it on the screen, sir. Question on the screen.
This is a question which is cannot be answered. Which perspective we should study to develop good technical approach? My answer remains to you that Mr. Javed, you need to focus what you read in your books and try to relate that to the practical life around you. Like for example, if you are studying bearing, then you should also hold a bearing in your hand and study that bearing, how it works. And then you should also think that how these balls are inserted in the outer race, inner races are put into place, after putting this ball, because now they cannot come out. So how they will be manufactured? So if you think on this will give you an insight into the practical angle of engineering what you read. Next question.
Yes, sir.
There is no formal school to train you for industry. Industry respects three things. One is your sound engineering, which you are getting with the education. Second is your aptitude and your objective, output. So you need to have a very positive output. It should not happen that I have done something because I have done it for the sake of doing it. You should do that what you are doing it with passion. So this is your self-learning and self-learning. And the third is people management, which comes from very good etiquette and interaction. The politeness or the humility with which you interact with people. You don't need to be arrogant, but you need to be assertive in what you speak. So this is the training that you need to do yourself to make yourself more industry ready. Production engineers will always be in place. Robots cannot take them over. Mr. Ahmad, Mahindra and Maruti are not virtual dreams, they are reality. You can definitely make your way to them, and you can make your way to international brands also beyond the borders of India by your proper nurturing, and you should be developing yourself on daily basis with required knowledge, something new that you should learn every day, and be present on the digital media to get yourself connected to the industry. This I would say is there are a lot of things available on the digital media and on online stuff. You need to select things what you require. So this is Mahesh. You need to look at what you require and then select things accordingly for your training needs. I think I answered this question. That if you want to get into industry, you need to do MBA. If you want to be in the industry with R&D, and if you want to get into academics, then MTech is more preferred. Future of car industry is that IC will remain after even having electrification of the cars. You will have driverless cars, not all, maybe public movers. There will be fun driving, which will always be there. So racing, adventure sporting will always be a driver car. There will always be a manual transmission cars. There will always be a high power gasoline engine or a diesel engine. Technical and engineering, Mr. Afshan, does not change with the borders of Middle East or India or Japan. Your engineering needs to be the same all over. It is in the environment of advancement where you will put in your knowledge. So if you get to work in Japan, you definitely will have to be more, looking at how do you have knowledge of nano engineering. And if you're working in Middle East, you can still cope up with your advanced engineering with electronics and computer controlled technologies which are currently prevailing also in India. Well, there is a lot of content coming into. I don't say that they are available on electrical mobility, but India is one such place which is kind of developing after China in the electric mobility. Of course, Japan is always there, and a lot of advancement in this has also happened with brands like General Motors and Ford in US. And Koreans like Hyundai and Kia are also developing on electric technology. But the India market is yet not fully matured to accept because of infrastructure limitation. So there is going to be a lot of infrastructure requirement, which will be as a basic, kind of promoter for this technology. And mechanical engineers will always be required to build the chassis, to build the steerings, to build the transmission, because you will be surprised to know that in the electric drive, there is a minimalistic transmission right now. but to enhance the mileage and to enhance the uh, performance, there are transmissions coming into electric cars also. So that enhances the requirement of a mechanical engineer. You are right, Raza. You need to focus on hybrid and electric both. It cannot be in isolation. They will be competition of the technology always be in play. Well, I would not like to answer any corporate-related questions. Katia is very popular.
Okay, sir.
Any
Thank
other
you, sir.
questions?
Thank you, sir. So we have finished with the questions. Tanuja ma'am, please continue.
Okay, sir. On behalf of the Department of Technical Engineering, Anjuman of Technology, Nagpur, I am thankful to Arif sir for giving enlightened us with relevance. Arif sir shared technology, mechanical engineering are much for how I would like to say to students, just ready how to acquire this passion to principal this for that students you are
Sir, Akash sir wants to say a few words. Akash sir. Akash sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Akash sir.
Sir, Arif sir, you nicely conducted seminar technically. So are delighted with your seminar and the way for the courses of mechanical engineering. Now this will very helpful for the student, and the seminar was the student also. So thank you once again, and you will be very your lecture is very motivated for the students. And once again, I got order of 2,000 vehicle in Hyderabad municipal. So are for to Anjuman Engineering College also.
I would like to take an opportunity of thanking Professor Huzafa who have given me this opportunity. I'm extremely thankful to Dr. S. M. Ali, the principal of Anjuman Engineering College, Dr. Akash. I would like to thank the Dean and the Administration for thanking Professor Amir Khan and Dr. Tanuja ji for giving me this opportunity of interacting with you. I am always available to engineering students and to the engineering college in whatever way they feel that I can be of any contribution to their value or knowledge or whatever or of industry insights. I'm just a call away. I can be reached on my email. I can be reached in my LinkedIn. Any contribution to their value. Thank you very much. for this opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
I'm just
Thank you. Thank you, sir. We are honored to have you, sir. Thank you.